Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Asset World with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very, very welcome, and we're building a city using only the assets reviewed in WhatMap, both past and present. We're going to start off with the present and this week's shows, and we started this week with episode 422. We reviewed Linden Trees by MrMaison. Now, MrMaison, old friend of the show, one of the first guests on Skylines Talk, very interesting guy as well. Literally is the last thing that you're expecting when you're chatting with him. Brilliant, absolutely lovely guy, and a great creator of foliage and trees and stuff. Now, we haven't reviewed that many trees in the show. Oh, here I decided that we could do a footpath joining up the residential area with the education area. I just need to squeeze one in there. But anyway, that's beside the point. Yes, we haven't done that many trees. Certainly there was another one other set of MrMaison trees at some point, but until we actually get to those or review some other trees, the only trees we're going to be able to do any detailing with are the Linden trees. Now, they're very nice. There are two sorts. There are these adult grown-up trees, the ones that are out paying their taxes, earning their money, paying the rents, paying their mortgage. And then we've got these juvenile trees, the young trees, the baby trees, the ones that would go to the elementary school. Now, one thing I need to go back and apologise to Baddy Deer about his elementary school, which I failed with badly on this particular show, and I need to go back and comment. So yeah, feel free to tell Baddy Deer that I'm sorry for failing him on that one. Our next one up, sorry, episode 423, Dunkin Donuts. That's not how you spell Duncan and not how you spell donuts, America, but hey, bless you, we love you anyway. It's by KingLeno, of course, by KingLeno, also one of the early guests on Skylines Talk. I haven't chosen these assets because of these people, it's just the way it worked. Next up, we got one that was not by a creator that's been on Skylines Talk. It's the ABC offices from Dackvid 2727, sorry, episode 424 this appeared in, and we're just going to connect up those footpaths that stick out the back there. Might have enough space for some buildings on the back there if they're no more than 3 deep. We'll have to have a look out for something like that. This one's a bit too deep for that. This is from episode 425 of WhatMap. It's GD1 Tower, V1, Moscow, RICO, Russia by Eurasia. Very smart little building, that one. Now, at this point, I'm thinking I need to do a little bit more work with the in-betweens, and just doing a little bit of tidying up with the old surface painter. I thought about leaving a little patch of green between there. I decided against it last second, and same down here, except not entirely. Not entirely. I know you're worrying about this, but I think we've got enough room there just for one linden tree. There it is. Plop that in there. Adds a little bit of greenery. That's very tidy. Next up, now this is the one that's caused me the problems. More than one way. First of all, it's too big. It's way too big. Secondly, the way it joins up with the road goes right the way through the building, which is also a bit of a pain. So I'm having to make some room by shifting some roads about. They will be deleted, and I'll get them to connect. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry, it will work. I promise you. But yes, the actual asset is Boulevard Plaza Tower Dubai by 7528111818. And now, having moved it across with Move It, we've caused terraform issues with the land, and I've basically got to flatten the land out a little bit to make the whole thing fit. And we've got some glitches in the land there as well because of it. Now, the road's on a slight incline, which then when I move it back still causes some problems, so there's still plenty of terraforming required for this one. Now, I figured that this building, as big as it is, it's not uber tall. So I figured it would just about possibly work as a transitional building between the large buildings and the uber large ones that may at some point appear. That kind of like, if that works. Anyway, let's move some of those the power lines out of the way. That's better. And yeah, tidy. Still not happy with the roads, the way we've got a little bit of glitching on the side of the roads there with the terrain, and I try tidying it up, I do, but it won't let me because of the size and the actual box size of the Dubai building there. Now I have some fun in a minute with the actual road. See, I eventually find the right road. I couldn't find it for love nor money. This is crazy. Where is that damned road? And I search for it, and it's not that one because that's too thin. That's just silly. And I'm not switching roads at this point. And I do find it. Scrolling. It's got to be down here. There it is. Boom, found you. And I upgrade. So that's all good. But the fun with the road starts in a minute. It's really weird. I don't know if any of you guys have had this. Do let me know in the comments if you have. Right, so need to level the terrain out here again. Still not entirely happy with the terrain on the side of the road. So I delete that road. Oh no, that's right. Connect the road back up. But look. It's not the same road that I've selected. Can't upgrade it. That's weird. So I delete it. And I try it again. And no matter what I do, that last bit, it wants to be the wrong road. So I delete all the way back, and oh, well, there we go, it's fixed it. But that was really mega weird, uber weird. Never had that before. But then, you know, Cities Skylines, it's gaming. These things happen in games. I'm not going to cry. Well, I'm crying a little bit. So anyway, what we're doing now is we're just going to make the whole thing a plaza. I wanted to try and give it a tight and tidy edge, but of course, because the way Surface Painter works, it will only do you a sharp edge on one side. I thought maybe I could draw a sharp edge with the footpath, but of course that just gets covered over anyway. So I gave up with that at that point, and we'll make a sharp edge using something else at a later date, and just tidy up those there. Now, what I thought was, if we just a little dots of surface paint deletion, and then put some baby linden trees down here for detailing, keep it nice and simple. There, almost finished apart from it's not connected to the road, but we'll get to that. Now somewhere down here, where are you? There it is. This one was reviewed on Saturday, yesterday's show. Episode 427 is Tripod Piano with Chair by, I think it's pronounced Yada, but I'm completely reliant on Google for that one. But yes, the tripod piano with chair, very sweet, very tidy little prop there, and I think it'd look quite nice outside that building. Now we're going back in time. Over a year ago, episode 61. Yes, 61, there were shows way back then. This one is, this one is Dumpster Area by beardmonkey, and I really like this. I really like it, and I think it's a sort of behind the scenes, behind the glossy front of retail, you get these like dumping areas and waste. Wait, you just hide your rubbish, don't you? You hide your rubbish in the back. Hey, believe me, I know these things. Yes, now I kind of liked that, except for I didn't like, I just don't like the way it all fits together with the buildings in front. Plus we're building on a slope as well, so I'm going to end up doing some terraforming here as well. Just not happy with that last parking bay being on a slope. Leveled the parking bay out, and I'm now looking at the dumpster area thinking, do I like it like on the hill like that? And I didn't really like it that much, because those concrete walls are usually pre-built and aren't normally angular. So I decided that because it's normally a pre-built concrete retaining wall around the outside of these things, I decided we needed to have it built on flat land for that reason. So yeah, trying to budge that back a bit, trying to find a way of actually making this thing work. And plops it somewhere up there. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, BonBon. You can do it. Just thinking about it, trying to work it out. Not happy. Does that work? It's connected up. That's a little bit better. It's still a little bit slopey, but what can you do? What can you do? It's real life. Real life, you have this. Still not best happy, but there we are. Moves it back in a little bit closer. On the angle, that works a bit better. And right up behind the Quickie Mart. Apu's Quickie Mart from The Simpsons there. Just want to move that one road node in. There you go. That's a lot better now. Haven't got any parking bays on the slope. Now this one was the one I had most fun with. I figured that would look really nice directly opposite the cathedral. And then around the outside of the plaza to have as like a road going around the outside with the old buildings on it. Like we've got Lost Gecko's Troy's house there, and that can be the first one. And I just figured it was going to look really, really. I think it'd be a nice little feature area. This with the cathedral, the Plaza, and the old houses dotted around the outside. So yeah. Oh my goodness, still choosing the wrong roads, BonBon. Well done, BonBon. So what I'm going to do now is going to put these roads in around the outside if it'll let us. Decided to go with the really thin roads because I think it's going to look nicer over the older part of town. Roads tend to be a lot thinner. And now if we move Troy's house just around there, thank you very much, Lost Gecko. Very nice building indeed. That's the first of our old buildings that are going to go around there. Yes, I know I've got the thatched roof cottage. I don't think that will quite work as part of this little feature area, so I've left that off to one side. And of course we've got the Dubai building glitching into that terrain area around the back as well. Fantastic. These big buildings are a pain in the backside, I tell you. Now I'm just connecting up the Dubai building with the road network with a little hidden under track road there. Okay, next up, what we're doing next is United Warehouse by, oh, it's KingLeno, quite by chance, no planning involved here. This is a lovely building again. I figured it would work quite nice next to this old factory unit, which we did. I believe it was in episode 1 of Asset World. Can't remember what it was called, but you can go back and check it. It's fine. It's a very nice building too. Put a little road up between the two of them, and then move the United Warehouse just to tweak it alongside there. And you know what? I think that's going to work very nicely there indeed. And all good. Right, that works. Next up, what have we got next up? Now this one I can't pronounce. This is Russian by Anta, and I did at one point try to learn what it was, but it was over a year ago. I had forgotten, and I forgot to research it before starting today's show. But if it looks a bit like Apo, and then okay, that's not correct. That's me being English and ridiculous. But I thought right there in that plaza would be quite a good location for that one. Next up, we have this very nice Cafe Achteck, old public toilets by SvenBerlin. Good old Sven, producing great stuff. Try and decide where to put it. Right next to the modern Dunkin Donuts. Didn't quite work for me, but in this little gap here, I figured it was really nice. Plop that there. A little bit of, well, automatic concrete around the back. And let's put in a couple of the Linden trees around the back, a couple of youngs, and a couple of one large one. I think that looks really good around there. We're nearly done, guys. We're going to finish with the Zordork Lighthouse by Zordork 4. Now, we're not up by the coast, and I wanted to try and keep everything as viewable from the city centre as possible. And although this isn't actually connected to the city centre yet, it will be. It will be. Because this is your waterworks area, and I figured, well, lighthouse, that's to do with water, isn't it? I know it doesn't quite work exactly, but it's also quite the same sort of style of buildings, so I reckoned it would look quite nice tucked in there as well. A little bit of detailing to make sure the whole thing comes together, and also making sure it's connected with water there. So putting a little path, and we are about done. A few linden trees for detailing, of course, because that's all we've got to play with at the moment. And that is that for Asset World this week. Well, thank you very much for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. We're going to go to the cinematics in a second. You guys are the best. You are the BonBonB elite, and I love you lots. Thanks for watching.